Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 6 starts now.
A major redevelopment project in Rockford takes a step forward. The new life a once thriving manufacturing facility could bring back to the city.
A naturalization ceremony creates hundreds of new U.S. citizens in the state line. One woman tells us she's waited a lifetime for this.
And Rockford students get the chance to see what their futures might hold. RPS 205 holds its annual career fair. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
Rockford's historic Barber-Colman complex is closer to finding new life. A Milwaukee-based development firm is taking on the task of reimagining the property.
Investors released new renderings of the future development. Amory Wilder talked with City Hall about the progress. Amory.
Eric and Mimi, many neighbors feel like this project is well overdue. After the 20-plus acre lot has sat vacant for decades, it will now be called Colman Yards.
It is going to be a process, but again, anything is better than just sitting idle and vacant.
For Fifth Ward Alderman Gabrielle Turina, it's hard to describe the excitement she feels around the future of the former Barber-Colman complex. She says the redevelopment of the old manufacturer that sits in her ward will bring light to an area of town that's lacked prosperity.
It's sort of been this structure that has sat in the community that people have had to look at for all these years, and it's really just hasn't brought a sense of hope at all. When that's what you see in your immediate community, it makes you sort of feel as though maybe the city doesn't think about us. We feel a little bit forgotten, with regards to resources and new development.
The plan is to turn the industrial structure into a mixed-use area. There will be residential as well as commercial and retail space. According to Turina, this is something residents wanted to see.
For me, it was important that they felt a part of the process. Not just a big developer coming into the area and taking it over and not listening to what they had to say. So I just feel like they've really done their due diligence and have really treated Rockford with a lot of dignity in this process.
Turina says the project will be broken into two phases.
So what's currently happening is things are going through zoning. So what they propose to be built, that has to be passed. And then also there's a completely separate thing called the development agreement. And that is really going to outline the timeline of the project.
The project will most likely take more than 5 years to complete. Eric?
Thanks, Amory. Rockford University announces the name of its new temporary leader. Dr. Patricia Lynott will serve as interim president beginning in December. It's the next step in the search for current president Dr. Eric Fulcomer's replacement. Dr. Lynott has more than 20 years of service at nationally ranked colleges around the country. She'll be on campus beginning in November to spend several weeks with Dr. Fulcomer before he leaves. This is so she can get to know faculty, staff, and students while becoming more acquainted with the area.
Last night's governor's debate covered many topics, including crime, abortion, and education. Both candidates were also asked about the SAFETY Act, the criminal justice reform bill, which eliminates cash bail across the state. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the Capitol. Governor Pritzker supports the bill but says changes need to be made to it. Lawmakers say negotiations about changes to the act are going well. The main focus is around eliminating cash bail and how the pretrial release aspect would be implemented in different counties around the state. During the debate, Governor Pritzker said he wants to see amendments to the bill.
We ought to amend it appropriately and make sure that we're ending cash bail while keeping murderers, rapists, and domestic abusers in jail.
Lawmakers will continue to work with states' attorneys from across the state to change the act.
Also last night, Senator Bailey took the opportunity to reveal a new plan he has to repeal the state's sanctuary status for immigrants. Bailey considers Illinois being a sanctuary state as a top reason for gang violence in Chicago. The Immigration Project is a nonpartisan immigrant advocacy group. Project leaders took issue with Bailey linking crime to the sanctuary state policy.
We need to get rid of this sanctuary state status so law enforcement can do their job and start reining this gang activity.
On the facts of what he's alleging, it's just blatantly false. There is no link between increased immigration and crime. And in fact, immigrants are less likely to commit crimes than native populations.
Republican Governor Bruce Rauner originally signed the policy in 2017. It prevents local law enforcement from working with federal immigration officials. Supporters say it's designed to build trust in communities. Governor Pritzker strengthened the policy.
It's a day many have looked forward to for years. It was swearing-in day for the state line's newest U.S. citizens. 304 new citizens from 69 countries were sworn in. The naturalization ceremony took place at the Coronado and was hosted by the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. One of the newest citizens is a 99-year-old woman from Colombia. She says today's ceremony is a dream come true.
It was a very big blessing that she never dreamed, but now she dreams because she's an American citizen.
Geraldo's family says they're very proud she is finally a U.S. citizen.
Flynn Middle School students enhanced their green thumbs. They harvested vegetables from a garden they planted and took care of. Some of the produce will be sold to Rockford area restaurants. Some will also be donated to those in need. State line farmer Andrew Borelli helped with the project. He says it can be an important experience. Borelli hopes farming will be part of the school curriculum.
Farming is a dying sort of art. Food and nutrition have become sort of a segregated affair that most people don't really partake in. So engaging kids in things that are real and tangible as far as life skills, just the basics, right? I mean, we got to know where our food comes from. It's just survival 101.
Coming up tonight at 9 and 10, we'll hear from students as they share their experience with the program. Today, Rockford Public Schools hosted its 11th annual Academy Expo. High school freshmen will engage with area businesses and explore potential career opportunities.
Our Nikel Delgado spent the day at the Academy Expo. Nikel, how'd it go?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. It's safe to say it was a success. 103 booths were represented by 500 industry experts, showcasing what they had to offer. This is the first step for students as they explore different careers.
People didn't know what they wanted to do in the future and stuff, and then going through this whole expo, you're exposed to a lot of different modalities, a lot of different places, and a lot of things, the career path.
Mercy Health radiologist student Gong Wagman tells me he was one of these kids not long ago. A short 10 years later, he's excited to return and be the person who can show students what could be a potential career path.
So me being able to communicate with the kids nowadays, or the kids that are coming in, and letting them know what you could do, and seeing their eyes, like, wow, I didn't know that was an option. It's just it just helps out, because I know I was lost at the beginning as well.
About 2,000 students took part in the expo. Students got to ask questions and learn more about what each job involves. The goal is to help kids make a more informed decision when picking which academy classes they take through the rest of high school. Our PS administrator says it's important for students to see the options available to them right here in Rockford.
The whole point is to try and find our students that want to grow within these different employers and go to work for them after high school. It's all about showing our students what options they have post-high school. There's a lot of things out here in our community that our students are not aware of: manufacturing, healthcare, business, and it's all so important that our students see what options are here. There's a lot of things happening in Rockford that a lot of people aren't aware of.
Gung says he is now in his final semester at Mercy Health and says the Academy Expo put him on his path into becoming a radiologist.
Pathway was huge when it first started, and I'm glad it's still happening and everyone's finding their way. And I love this expo, and I think it's a good opportunity for everybody that's here.
The school district hopes to see more students like Gong Wagman pursue careers that they were inspired to explore at the Academy Expo. Eric, Mimi.
Many Americans will see lower tax bills next year.
The IRS adjustments are an annual occurrence, but they will benefit more people for the 2023 tax year. Tax rates are adjusted for inflation, which typically means incremental movements in the thresholds for what income is taxed at what rate. Inflation is up more than 8% over the past 12 months. The price for rent, groceries, and gas have reached levels not seen in 40 years. All 7 federal income tax bracket levels are being boosted as a result. So are thresholds for dozens of other provisions like the Earned Income Tax Credit.
The World Health Organization says COVID-19 cases are falling around the world, but the agency is still treating infections as a global emergency. Health officials say countries still need to be vigilant to help those most vulnerable people get vaccinated. The number of weekly deaths is still high compared to other viruses. Next January will mark 3 years since the WHO declared COVID a global emergency. Americans have a new option for their next COVID vaccine booster shot. The FDA's approved a new vaccine from Novavax. That's been okayed as a booster for those who've already had an initial vaccination of either Pfizer or Moderna shots. Health officials say this is an option for people who need a booster when the other booster shots are not accessible. Unlike the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, Novavax is a more traditional protein-based shot.
Spirit Airlines shareholders vote to accept a $3.8 billion buyout from JetBlue, but the deal could still face a challenge from federal antitrust regulators. Spirit announced the outcome today after an online meeting. It ends a 6-month bidding war with Frontier to acquire Spirit, the nation's biggest budget airline. Spirit said the deal was supported by a majority of voters and promised an exact count soon. If approved, the merger will create the country's 5th largest airline.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Savannah Brito.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Wednesday. We've made it to midweek, but it is still cool out there. There are big changes right around the corner, though, that are on the horizon. We'll talk about that. The warm-up for Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. We're sitting at 43 right now in Rockford, though, 41 in DeKalb, 43 in Freeport, and then 45 in Sterling. So temperatures all across the state line did make it in the mid to upper 40s, but now we have fallen into the mid to lower 40s. There was a slight wind chill out there, though, making our air temperatures feel a little bit colder out there. That's still the case, and that will be through the overnight hours. Our observed high on Monday, 42. So it was very cold out there, and that actually did break our previous record cool high of 44 degrees. That was set all the way back in 2002. And we are going to see a big change in temperatures, though. So over the span of just 5 days, a 30-degree warm up. The forecast high for Friday, 72. We do have a strong trough that is going to break down along with our ridge. That's bringing us some cooler air here. And then we are going to see a break in that pattern, which will bring us warmer air eventually. This is our Poplar Grove Airport SkyTrack camera. No cloud cover. We are going to see some of that come in the state line. That's already kind of grazing some of our western counties across the state line. We are going to see an increase, though, in the overnight hours to partly cloudy skies. That's actually how the next couple of overnight hours are going to be, or a couple of days are going to be during the overnight hours into Thursday and then into Friday as well. We are going to see those quickly move out of here, which will allow for sunshine to reach the state line during the day, the morning, and then at least through the afternoon on Thursday and then into Friday as well. Change in our pattern, though, over the weekend. Although we are going to warm up, I don't think we'll see as much sunshine on Sunday specifically. That is the next system that will arrive across the state line. Most, if not all of the day Sunday should remain dry. Sunday night into Monday, that's when we're going to see a change in our pattern back to an active weather pattern that will bring us wet conditions to at least start the work week off. Thinking we're going to keep a chance of rain in there Tuesday, maybe even into Wednesday. Right now, models do have the rain kind of lingering across the state line. That will be ahead of a pair of 2 cold fronts, though. Could see some severe weather out west of here. We will have to keep an eye on that the closer that does reach the state line. It's also been windy out there, though. Our average peak wind gusts over the last several days, 36.4 miles per hour. The good news is winds are going to die down a little bit overnight into tomorrow, but they are going to pick back up for Thursday afternoon. So in the overnight hours, we are going to see those gusts come down closer to around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, not as windy as what we have seen the last couple of days, especially into Friday morning, but then we are going to see those gusts come up quickly then Friday late in the morning and then into the afternoon and evening. So we are going to hold those windy conditions for the weekend. This was the strong ridge that I was talking about that is just out west of here, bringing lots of warmer weather to that part of the country. We do have a strong trough over our area. That's what's bringing a lot of the country actually colder weather, but this is going to break down. The warmer air then that is sitting out west of here is going to spread across our area, the deep south, the Midwest, definitely across the state line, which is good news because we are talking about much warmer weather. The outlooks for the next couple of days, though, and even as we head into Halloween, do look like we could hold slightly above normal temperatures, which will be good for trick-or-treaters, so we will have to watch that as we do get closer. But the warmer air already setting into place tomorrow will climb closer to normal, still a couple degrees shy of that, though. And then we're in the lower 70s by Friday, maybe even a couple mid to upper 70s by Saturday. We do keep that in the forecast Sunday, thinking a little bit cooler for the start of our work week. But Mimi, Eric, at least we'll have the 70s for the weekend.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
The Bulls will start the season without one of their all-stars. Zach LaVine will miss tonight's opener in Miami. sparking concerns about his availability for the season as he continues to recover from left knee surgery. He told reporters after shoot-around yesterday that he isn't feeling any specific pain. It's more just injury management at this point. He didn't have a setback, just playing it safe, so he's 100% at the end of the season. His status remains day-to-day at this point. The Bulls have yet to set a timeline or date for him to be available for every game. But the show must go on. Ayo Dosunmu has already earned the starting point guard job, but this won't be new for him as he replaced injured Lonzo Ball last season. Game number 1 of the season against the Heat will tip off here shortly at 6:30. Fred VanVleet and the Toronto Raptors open their season tonight at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tip-off for that one also set for 6:30. Tonight marks the official start of year 7 in his NBA career. He averaged 20 points, nearly 7 assists, and 4 rebounds in 65 games last season. He was also selected to play in his first All-Star game. He spoke with media at shoot-around this morning on what he's feeling ahead of tonight's game.
Anxious, I guess. It's the same, probably the same thing. Just, you know, this is what I love to do. I really love to compete and play, so it's just the only thing that's been on my mind, and, you know, I'm just excited to get it started.
The Green Bay Packers offensive line is coming off a poor showing against the Jets. Matt LaFleur called it the worst performance that this group has had since he took over as coach in 2019. And they won't be getting any kind of break come Sunday. Washington's defense comes into Week 7 ranked 3rd in pressure rate and 6th in total sacks. Here's what LaFleur had to say regarding the Commanders' O-line.
It can give you nightmares if you let it. If you watch the sack reel or just the pressure reel, the third down is, you know, you got to have a plan for it. And even when you have a plan for it, it still might not go the way you want it to go. They just wreak havoc on an offensive line.
The Phillies are trying to continue their red-hot October with another against the Padres in Game 2 of the NLCS. Things are well underway in San Diego, and the Padres have the lead right now, 7-4, the score through 5. And Game 1 of the American League Championship Series is tonight between the Yankees and the Astros. In the AL this season, New York led in runs scored and home runs, whereas the Astros allowed the fewest runs and home runs in the division. Now that should be a fun one. That's sports, so we'll be right back.
We'll get back to Savannah with a final look at weather in just a moment.
First, here's Chris Cuomo with a News Nation preview.
Coming up tonight on the show. He was blocked from joining the January 6th committee. Now, Congressman Jim Jordan joins us live for his take on the midterms, Ukraine, Hunter Biden, and more. And everyone's still talking about our interview with the artist formerly known as Kanye West. Comedian D.L. Hughley is here to weigh in on what matters. Tonight on my show on News Nation.
That is all coming up on News Nation. You can see it on any of the channels on the left of your screen there. You can also head to newsnation.com.
We do have a big change in our weather pattern to detail even as early as tomorrow on Thursday, definitely by Friday and then into the weekend. No showers on the interactive radar. That's all off to our east in Michigan, northeast of the state line. That's sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and more. But like I said, big changes. If you like warmer weather, you will like the forecast for the next couple of days. We steadily climb closer to average. Tomorrow, 60 or close to that. Then into the 70s, lower 70s by Friday, maybe even a couple places reaching the upper 70s. Most of us will remain in the mid 70s on Saturday, and then even in the mid 70s still by Sunday. A little bit cooler for the work week, but we will still be above average on Monday, and then closer to normal Tuesday and Wednesday, guys.
Sunshine will help a little bit, but 70s are even better.
Oh, looking forward to that.
Thanks, Savannah.
And thanks for watching. Have a good evening.
Stay safe.